Welcome to the one viewer. Hopefully you can hear me. Three watching. Ooh. Well, welcome to the live stream. This is the first time I've ever done anything like this. Um, let's get to it. If anyone has any questions, I've got a nice wide shot of the collection here. I can see all kinds of stuff behind me. Wow. I'm looking at it on my computer monitor. I'm watching myself. Hello, Luigi the Crab. All right, Seth Anderson has the first question. What's the coolest thing in that room, in your opinion? Super Mario Brothers 3 talking sign. That might be my coolest piece. Just because I love Super Mario Brothers 3 so much. It's not cool because it talks, because the talking, if you've seen the video, is pretty bad. Rutabaga says, been watching your collecting videos since I was a kid. Keep up the good stuff. I hear that a lot. I've been doing this so long. It's nice to hear that people have been watching that long, and now they're collectors themselves. Like they used to watch me as a kid, and now they have some of the items that I was talking about ages ago. Nostalgic Dam Legend, happy to be here. You have brought me a lot of joy with VGMM, and my viewers have brought me a lot of joy as well. And so is all this stuff. Favorite Kirby figure set from Luigi the Crab? Oh man, that's a tough question. Um, well, the one that just released with Pitch and Nagu and Choo Choo might be my favorite at some point. Right now, I mean, I like the retro stuff. It's probably the Kirby's Adventure set that you and I collected basically together. Banjo Kazooie God, what item in your collection took you the longest to obtain? Here. This guy. Yeah, this took me for flipping ever. I don't know if you guys saw that video where I finally got it. And the nicest part, after the video, I sold a bunch of stuff from that big box that I showed, and basically he was free because I sold, well, and then some. Like I sold a bunch of those figures and they went for a nice amount. So yeah, I kind of got Mechabon from Super Mario Land finger puppet set for free, which is like unheard of. That was Banjo Kazooie God. Rutabaga says, I remember watching you, Sonic Toast, Pixel Dan as a kid and being so jealous of what you had. Thankfully, I've been able to collect more merch in recent years. Good for you. Luigi the Crab. Love the finger puppet set. Felt great finally getting Waddle Dee. Yeah, that one's hard. For the longest time, I thought I had it all. And then I saw a Waddle Dee figure, and I'm like, what is that from? It kind of looks like the Kirby Adventure set. So yeah, it was he's much more rare. Rutabaga has a question. Is patience the most important thing to have when it comes to collecting? Maybe it's budget. Being able to have money on hand for that holy grail is something that's necessary. It's very hard to do, especially with how quickly things are coming out these days. It's tough to not just be like, well, and you never know which stuff will be available a decade from now and which stuff will be impossible to find, or like such a flash in the pan that people don't even know about it. I know, I mean, a lot of times I'll show stuff on my Instagram page or something like that, and people are like, I've never seen these before. It's like, yeah, they didn't last very long. Nostalgic Nostalgic Adam. Why am I reading it like that? I'm sorry. Is there a product you're tired of hearing people ask or talk about? Um, Mario Party 5 set. Yeah, mostly due to Super Mario Logan and that whole bit of the fandom. Not because it's wrong or bad or anything. I don't really watch it myself, but those plushes are so iconic to that those videos now. It's almost a thing on its own. So I remember seeing the value increase, and I'm like, what? Why are the Mario Party 5 plushes going crazy? And then someone showed me Super Mario Logan. I'm like, well, there you go. Do you know? Okay, Matt Coster says, do you know what merchandise is coming down the pipe for the new movie? I imagine there will be a ton of stuff. All I've seen so far is the McDonald's set, and it's weird because it's set for December, and the movie comes out in April, so it's like a movie tie-in thing, but they're way ahead of themselves. And I just saw today a like papercraft, a cardboard kind of set that's also coming out. I think that's also fast food related. The only other thing I've seen is the T-shirt that was at the premiere for it was San Diego Comic Con when they released the trailer. I imagine a boatload of stuff is coming. Probably mostly American, since that's where the movie is and that's where the deals are happening. So that might benefit us for one time in North America and in like surrounding areas. But yeah, so Japan, I don't know. Japan might get exclusive stuff just because it's Nintendo and it's Nintendo Japan and whatever. I imagine we're getting a lot of stuff for it. And I know Jack Pacific, I think, has the license for it already because they've been, I don't know if they've been teasing stuff, but I heard that is what they have. They already have the license for it. So that could be significant for a long time. Rutabaga, the plushie Mario YouTube scene is wild. It is wild. Did you see that Super Mario RPG Mallow scene when that hit? That was pretty great. Shiz in a Diz. How's the Mother collection going? Keeping up with the Habonichi merchandise? Yes. I missed my window for the Chosen 4 plushes. I'm so mad. Luckily, they're going to be re-released in February, so I'm going to be on the ball for that. I just saw tonight that they're releasing more of those little magnet plushes. I bought all those, of course. And they're releasing a Chimera and a Ness and 2 other plushes. I don't remember off the top of my head, but those are coming December 15th. So just a surprise. But yeah, I'm continuing to get stuff for the Mother collection that I like. I mean, there's so much stuff that came out, and they kind of re-release things from the past, like the jacket and stuff and the plushes. So anything new, I'm trying to get my hands on as best I can, but it's pretty expensive. Luigi the Crab says, I know Jack's figures for the movie got leaked the same day as the first trailer. Yeah, and I think there was like a Mario Kart 1 and a Mario and some stuff, maybe. If I remember seeing that. Nostalgic Adam, I don't see too much Pokemon. Is there a reason there isn't much in the collection? Because I need another whole room to store Pokemon stuff. And really, Pokemon was getting big just as I was aging out of it. Some people my age are really big into Pokemon. I'm not. I really like the character design, but I didn't like the concept when I was a kid. I played some Pokemon games. I really like Pokemon Snap. Pokemon Go was fun. And I have a couple of pieces of some Pokemon that I like, but really, gosh, it was overwhelming to even think about collecting that. And I didn't really get into it until Smash Brothers hit, and I was playing Pikachu a lot. And I kind of flocked between liking and hating Pikachu back when he was big, and I didn't watch the show, so it was kind of I skipped over that one. But it's not that I hate it; it's just that it's not for me. Same with Animal Crossing. I don't do a lot of Animal Crossing stuff either. It's not my deal. Oh, I'm getting behind. Frank Mack, that Mario Santa animated doll from Japan, do you still have it? I've been looking for that for years. There's one on Yahoo Japan auctions right now. And yes, I still have mine boxed, and it still works. Still plays the song and lights up and everything. Rutabaga, I tried buying those plushes, but I forgot about Japan time differences. Yeah, and you have to have a well, I guess you can ship internationally from the site directly. So I have to create my username and all that so I can be ready. Cray, what is your favorite Mario character? Let's go! It's Luigi. People would assume it's Mario, but there's just more Mario stuff. I like Luigi the best. And not just because I can do the impression. Okay. Shiz and it is, Mother merch has gotten so expensive. It's incredible how much the band Presto stuff goes for nowadays. Yes, I remember picking up entire sets for 1,000 yen, which back then was like a little less than $10 a set. Now those same figures a piece go for sometimes over $100. So yeah, that's, you know, and I knew when they came out that they'd be absolutely massive. There's a couple I paid a little bit more than that for, but only a couple. And I tried to hit it as soon as they were coming out because they were coming out super fast. Rutabaga, another question. How have resellers affected the game collecting scene? Just about as much as they affect any scene. They tend not to know about a lot of the things that I collect. Import wise, sometimes, you know, if it's a collector's edition or something, that's going to be a lot harder to get. I managed to get the Breath of the Wild collector's edition, but well, I've also seen recently that they've been snatching up plushes and figures from Mercari Japan and selling them here for outrageous amounts. And also, just recently I was introduced to a whole new scene where people were taking custom plushes from Etsy and selling those on Yahoo Japan auctions. I recently saw some Super Mario RPG plushes like Balome and Punchinello and some other characters, and they were selling them for just outrageous amounts, thinking they would get like Mallow prices for them. Yeah, just bonkers. People do crazy things for money. Let's see, where we are. Luigi is awesome. Good question, by the way, Rutabaga. Matt Coster, are there any Super Mario 2 USA toys? Yes, of course. There are a lot of Japanese stuff from Super Mario Brothers 2, the lost levels that are here. For Mario 2, there's the Applause set of figures that have like the turnips and things. Yeah, that's just off the top of my head. There's the Viewmasters. There's a lot of stuff over here that I can see that you guys can't. There's a telephone. There's the bow biters are from Super Mario Brothers 2. So that was kind of like the Mario Mania era. So there was a lot of Super Mario Brothers 2, and then it kind of bled into 3 and World, since those were released pretty close to each other in Japan and USA. So that whole Mario Mania era from like 1988 to 1991, you'll see a bunch of merch from Mario 2 and stuff like that. Luigi the Crab, favorite Mega Man figure set. Mine are the FB Chibi sets and X1, 3, and Mega Man 7. Recently completed all 5 sets. Those sets are awesome. You know, I really like the set that released for the board game that was kickstarted. All those Mega Man 1 figures. Gosh, I wish they'd do Mega Man 2, Mega Man 3. Mega Man 3 is my favorite Mega Man. Normally it's Mega Man 2 for everybody. I like 3 better because they introduced Rush. And he could slide, and he could power up his thing. And well, no, powering up was 4. But as I'm looking over there, I really like the full painted figures from. I think I have like 5 and 6. I wish there was 2 and 3 fully painted like minifigures to collect. That'd be great. So kind of a weird answer on that one. Sorry. Carlos Rodimus Prime. Hi Nightram, love your content. Question: what do you know about the Choro Q F-Zero Hot Violet pullback car? I know that I just recently got it. Yeah, it's sitting right over there. It's not rare. It's generally available on Yahoo Japan auctions and Mercari for fairly cheap prices. Is that Choro Q or is that the other one? I can't. I think it's Chorokyu. I didn't open it, but yeah, I'm aware of it. Um, yeah, I'm not sure what else I can talk about with that one. Shizen is speaking of Brand Presto, have they made any Mario merchandise recently? Getting tired of Jax, to be honest. Jax is rough to collect from because you get like one figure in an entire set. Band Presto went out of business. They got absorbed by Bandai Namco, who was kind of their parent company anyway, and essentially Bandai has taken over the merchandising arm for that license. So they're kind of still around. I'm sure the people just kind of got absorbed, but the name is not that I have seen. Getting behind. Are you a fan of Chip 181? I don't know what that is. Sorry. I imagine he's a YouTuber. I have a hard time watching YouTube videos. I take care of kids during the day, so I need to be more focused. So I will check that out. Maybe you could tell me, Chris Griffin, what that is. Frank Knack, does anyone have the link to the Santa Mario in Yahoo Japan? Boy, I'd find it if I wasn't busy. I remember seeing it. I found the kanji for Christmas Mario, and that's how I hunted for it. And I just recently looked at it, and it was there, like last night. So, because I was looking at all the Universal Studios Japan stuff coming out of the Super Nintendo world. Rutabaga, sucks that people are doing that and tricking shoppers on Japanese sites. Yeah, I don't know if they're falling for it. Yeah, hopefully not. Mr. Ouch, hi Nightram. How long has it been since you've read the Super Mario Adventures comic? I remember reading that monthly in Nintendo Power, and then I got the compendium book, and I don't think I cracked it open because it was really rare at that point. But since then, they've re-released it. I think I read it to my kids at one point. I don't know if they were that interested in it though, so we might not have gotten the whole way through. But Sunshine Studios, hello there. I've been watching you since the first ugly Mario plushes video. Haha, classic. You've inspired me to start collecting myself. Nice to see you streaming. Yeah, it's a new thing I'm trying. I thought it'd be fun. See what else Shiznit is. What's your favorite Mother game? Probably Earthbound. Mother 2. Mother 3 was fun, but it was wild. Chris Griffin said, "Oh, I played Mother 1, and that's hard, man. The grinding is outrageous in that game. That was before it came over legit, like Earthbound Beginnings is what they called it. Yeah, that was. I love Eve, the robot at the end, but yeah, that was a much rougher game than Earthbound, and Earthbound's not anything to sneeze at." Chris Griffin says, "What's a good price for Mario Party 5 Luigi?" Oh, these days, look between like 150, I think. I don't know. It's hard to keep up prices when you're hunting for other things. Once you own it, it's kind of like, well, every once in a while I might check the value of what it's been sold for, but yeah, it's hard to keep up prices on all the things. What do you know about plush tubers, i.e. people who make stories with their plushes? I'm all for it. It seems fun. I did one with Star Fox plushes. I had planned to do more because I could do the voices and things, but I commissioned a General Pepper plush because I wanted to do I had some storyboards mocked up and stuff for that, but it never came to fruition because I wanted to get a General Pepper kind of in the style of the Star Fox plushes, and it just didn't come together for me. So let's see. Luigi the Crab, love those boxed MM5 and 6 sets. Hopefully the new Jada Toys line will be successful enough to go past Mega Man 1 Robot Pastures. Yes, I'm hoping Jada, but it's like, oh gosh, I don't know if I can just buy those again. They're posable though, that's fun. Dream on, hi Nightram, any tips for going after the Banpresto mother figures? Oof, did a good job. Mercari Japan is probably better than Yahoo Japan auctions. Yahoo Japan auctions have seemed to go, they're between eBay and Mercari on price, but sometimes, if they pop up somewhere, you got to grab them where they are. Let's see where we are. Rutabaga, only non-MM1 Robot Masters I own is an Airman figure. Yeah. I own quite a bit more, but I don't. I mean, there's not a complete set of Mega Man 2, Mega Man 3, Mega Man. There is Mega Man 4 Keshi, but they skipped 2 and 3. They skipped the best games. I don't know why that is. Being specific on Yahoo Japan is so hard for me. I only know Mario and Plush. Google Translate is your friend. I can also send stuff that I have set up. But I always like Google like kanji for Yoshi, and then a lot of times the Super Mario Wiki will show up and it'll show their names in Japanese. Plug and play, man. That's how you do it. Sunshine Studios, what's your opinion on Sonic the Hedgehog? Well, obviously I don't collect him. I haven't really played a lot of the games. I loved the character when I was littler, but I didn't have a Sega Genesis. I got that later, and then I played a lot of the games, and I don't know. Some people are going to get mad at me, but I didn't find them very fair. Like the idea is to go fast, and then you have a spike or something that knocks you down. It's like, so you don't want to go. You have to go all slow and then learn, like memorize the level, and then you can go fast. I didn't like that whole thing, but I haven't really tried a whole lot of Sonic games. So I like the character. I liked the movies. I watched the movies with my kids. They liked him. So he's fun. I like him. I don't collect him. Rutabaga. Last time it was on Surugaya NES probably was roughly $40 to $50. That's not bad. NES is but there's like 4 NESs. NES has the most releases because there's he came in multiple sets, so it's going to be the other ones that are more rare. Alec Martin 1 2 3 4 5. Nice last name. Out of curiosity, why did you end up selling some of your Super Mario Sunshine plush? Because I got good offers, and I hadn't really looked at them much. Sunshine is not my favorite Mario game. Yeah, and I was in the position to sell them because I needed cash for some other things I was buying. So that was it was serendipitous. Cheese it is. Is there anything you regret selling? Sure. Right off the top of my head, I sold a pin set. It's on eBay right now, but it's like $250. I sold it for $150, I think, maybe back in the day. It was a lot for a pin set. It was the Super Mario 64, Pilot Wing 64. It was like a whole 64. There's a Blast Core pin. I remember selling that and regretting it. Chris Griffin, any tips on finding the Klinger Vic Tokai plushes? Oof, those are really, really rare. I didn't realize how rare they were. Plushes, and I haven't seen them for a long time. Like the Erie is like the rarest. Washed JP, love your account, man. Love you too, buddy. Nostalgic Adam, what is your favorite Yoshi piece you own? Oh, that is such a hard question. Like figure plush. That Yoshi's Island DS statue is pretty sweet, even though the game wasn't very sweet. Hanya, awesome to see you live. Hope you're doing good. Hope you do good too, Hanya. It's been a long time. Oh man, back from the day in the forums. Rutabaga, the best part about Airman merch is that it was all caused by a meme song. Yeah, Airman became pretty popular. It's wild how stuff is that culture has come about. It's great. Matt Coster, random question. What was the first third-party game you got for the NES? Whew. That's going to be a reach back. Is Tetris third party? Tetris is kind of bought the rights, and then like along those same like our family really liked board or puzzle games, so we might have gotten Pipe Dream, which is it's a random puzzle game. We really liked it. It's just a nostalgic thing though. It's not the greatest puzzler. That or Vegas Dream. These are dream games. My dad was big into blackjack, and we used to play blackjack all the time on that game. Where am I? Mr. Ouch, where is the best place to find Japan exclusive game soundtrack CDs? Are you talking the MP3s or the actual physical CDs? Because physical CDs, I quit buying. Um, and I should probably sell the ones that I have just because, I mean, I have so much game music, some that I've ripped myself. Um, I don't, I know there's like a ton of import sites for that stuff. I don't know the best place. That would require some research because I'm not really after anything that doesn't come in like a collector's edition. And the problem with soundtrack CDs is that they always miss songs. Like I've always had a problem with that. I've had to go find the more illegal versions because I mean they don't get this. I remember the first time that happened to me was Donkey Kong Country 2, and I bought the set from Nintendo Power Super Power Supplies Club, and I was listening to the music and I'm like, yeah, and I couldn't wait to hear Cannon's Claim, the level music, on the CD, and they missed it. And I'm like, what is this? So yeah, they're not very good, and or so like you get a sampler sometimes in collector's editions. Not a big fan. So a lot of times I'll buy soundtracks on Bandcamp when I'm doing like a lot of the indie games and stuff that have those. Or I'll buy, sometimes it's on Amazon, but that's just MP3s and stuff. Sometimes you have to hunt them down, and it's tough. I like to give money when I can, when it's available and it's official. But a lot of times you just don't find that, especially Nintendo stuff, which is just dumb. But we all know that. What's a holy grail that you're trying to get? There is a Legend of Zelda Young Link dome figure, and I know there's a ton of them on eBay, but the price is stupid. So it's one of the things. It's more of a like to have. I've had a bit of a hole in that sense actually after getting Mechabon that I've raced for so long. I haven't really had time to reevaluate what my holy grail, my next holy grail would be. So, oh, how rare is that Yoshi's Island statue? Intact, pretty damn rare. It is hard to find in one piece. It's extremely fragile, and they do not pack it well. The packing foam in the box is terrible. What is the rarest Mega Man item you have? Where is it? Probably that guy. It's from the 20th anniversary. If I can get real close. There's also a, I want to say gold, but it's more like a bronze version of it that's much more rare. Um, there's also a statue right there I don't want to grab right now. Um, that's a tough question. I haven't really thought about that a whole lot. Rarest Mega Man. Yeah, I know I've got some rare stuff, but Luigi the Crab, favorite Kirby plush set. Completed the Takara Adventure set earlier this year, working on the Dreamland 3 set. Yeah, you're kicking butt. That Dreamland 3 set is awesome. I have not seen them very much, and they're always like in bad condition when they come up. I do love that set. The recent set with Pitch in it, Pitch is my favorite Kirby character, and he's just so um, forgotten. He's not very loved, and now I have a Pitch plush, so I'm very happy. But I do love those retro ones. Those are like the Rick and the Coup from that set. The Coup from the Kirby Dreamland 3 set is maybe my favorite Kirby plush. Sunshine Studios, I think it's funny how Sonic and Mario have the same master toy partner. Not unheard of. I mean, when you think toys, you think Bandai. Alec Martin, 12345. How much Pokemon merchandise do you own? Not a lot. I've been collecting Nintendo plush for 16 years, and of the series, that one is by far my biggest in my collection. Yeah, that can run away real quick. I've noticed doing the collector's corner for Nintendo Force magazine that I write for. I've been doing that for a decade almost, and I've had to cover Pokemon merchandise, and it's just the amount of stuff that comes out is mind-boggling, and it's always, well, it's not always expensive, but it's like the exclusives and the costumes and all this stuff. It's amazing. I remember seeing the Guinness World Record person who has all the Pikachus, And then I have my friend Critical Smash, who has all the he likes Bulbasaur, and he's got so much Bulbasaur stuff. It's amazing. Nostalgic Adam, as a collector, what do you think is a current item you think could be valuable and hard to find in the future? Um, it's a good question. Crystal balls and all that. I mean, I don't know. It's one of those things. I've had very little luck thinking about something. Mainly, I've seen for stuff going up in value consistently. It's got to be first four figure statues. Those tend to go up. I really haven't seen them come down unless you damage them, which it's hard not to damage them sometimes. I keep mine pretty much out of the reach of bumping them for the most part. But yeah, statues tend to be the big ones, the high end statues. They're expensive to collect, and they do raise in value, but not like a ton. Um, Signage, Nintendo signage is absolutely massive. A lot of retro gaming signage is massive right now. What determines if you take an item out of its box or not? Shizen it is. I consider if they're mass produced. So, like Jack specific stuff, I'll take it out of the box if I know that there's going to be a lot of that figure. I have all of mine, I think, still in box though. So as I say that, but I'm starting like room is becoming a factor. I don't have a lot of it left. So as I'm getting more Jack stuff, it's like, well, I know that, you know, these sets, Morton will be available. Pokey, maybe not. I don't know. But it's not going to be like in the package $1,000, right? Like, I don't think any of the Jack's mass produced stuff is going to go much of anywhere. But, you know, there's a lot of Jack stuff that's hard to find. Like day one, like you can't get it. They're really bad at distributing their stuff. I wish you could just go on a site and buy what you want at cost, because you can't. And they always release the harder to find figures, or the wanted figures, like one in a case. So, but yeah, if you want a Jack's Mario figure, you could probably pay a penny and get one. So, you know, on the other end of that coin. But yeah, sometimes when I receive it from Japan, I don't know whether it's going to be sealed or not, unless they've taken photos of it out of the box. So if it's open, I'll open it and show it off. But if it's sealed, I like to keep it sealed, especially if you can see the figure well enough without having to open it. But there's stuff I've been tempted to open. Bid Puppy 76. What is your favorite Mario game to collect merchandise for? Super Mario Brothers 3. That's an easy one. Give me all the raccoon Marios you got. Rutabaga, anything you miss about the older days of collecting besides prices? Late 90s, early and late 2000s. Variation in Mario's look. And, you know, a lot of my most popular videos, like Ugly Marios. I miss my Ugly Marios. Like how warped they can get. But now, like, the only way to get that is by watching bootlegs, which, you know, are funny in their own sense, but, you know, not as fun as an official piece of merchandise that's like janky. MD Koopa, what's your favorite Mario plush set? I think it's the Mario All-Star set with the original Raccoon, Tanuki, Hammer Brother. Love that set. It's not rare. You can still pick up like tagged versions for 30, 40. So that's not bad. Mr. Ouch. Favorite and least favorite Koopling. Iggy's the best. And I don't know who, well, the worst Koopling. Maybe Morton. I'm glad they released him last. Though I like that they all kind of have their own personality now. Like before it was kind of like you thought they would have personalities. And then the Super Show, of course, made their own. They just kind of went off. But in the games, they kind of have their own feel. But I like my Iggy. Let's see. That's a good question, Mr. Ouch. Luigi the Crab asks, any reason why the Game & Watch diorama figures are so pricey? You got the chef one last year for 20. I don't know. Um, Man, for a while there, I was tempted to sell mine because it's like, why are they so? The only thing I could think of was maybe it was like the only thing you could get for Mr. Game & Watch, kind of when he got big from Melee. Um, but yeah, I don't know why they got so expensive, and they're like, but $20, good for you, man. That's great. I don't even think I paid $20 when I bought mine, so I think they were more expensive than that. She's on a days Mario and Luigi or Paper Mario, Mario and Luigi all day long, which is sad because the guys who made it filed for bankruptcy. So I don't know if we're going to see any more Mario and Luigi games. But the writing and the style and just everything about those games is so good. I love those games. Paper Mario games are great. I don't think that they really have done as well. I really liked Color Splash. I liked Super Paper Mario. Origami King was so, but they're kind of starting to get back into characters like buddy characters having more personality. But there was a weird story about like Nintendo not allowing them to name a different figure, which when it came down to the Bob-omb character, when it came down to the Bob-omb character in the Origami King game, it was funny that they had that bit of dialogue where your helper is trying to name him anyway, and they had a lot of good Bob-omb names in there. I remember that. Alec Martin 1 2 3 4 5. Oh wait, she's on it is. Why don't they have more merchandise for those two series? Ugh! Okay, moving on. Alec Martin 1 2 3 4 5. How many of the Kelly Toy Mario plush do you own? As funny looking as they are, they were my first Mario plush set, so they have a lot of soft spot in my heart. Yeah, I have Mario and Wario, and I think I've got a Donkey Kong. They were pretty janky though, weren't they? Oh, I've got the Bowser because how do you deny the Bowser on that one? Yeah, I mean, Kelly Toy is pretty rough, but they came out when I was collecting pretty big, so I think I got them all. I like the Toad. Leo B, talk about some coins you have and pins. Leo B, what are some of your favorite pins in your collection? I really like having the Penny Arcade Super Mario Brothers 3 complete set. I got really lucky there. Looking at the pins over there, and there's pins over here. There were pins that I got when I went to E3 for those 4 years. They had a lot of pin sets. I remember collecting, where is it? Here we go. I remember collecting these Nintendo Land pins when they were introducing the Wii U. I was at that press conference. That was like the last live press conference that they did. And I was gathering all these pins, and you had to go to each station where they had this specific game that you could play, and you'd play the game, and then you would get the pin after you completed the game. And I was blogging at the time, and I remember running into the press room because I had a press badge, and getting having the set, getting a picture of it, blogging it, getting it uploaded real quick because I wanted to show everybody that this is the full pin set and they're really cool. And then I gathered up all my things and I left the dang thing on the table. And oh man, I was so mad. And by the time I realized it, I went back and they were already gone, of course. So I went and got them all over again. So I got them twice, but I only have one to show. So that was kind of a bummer, but yeah, favorite pins. There's some retro pins that I really like the Super Mario Brothers 3 raccoon, like that first raccoon pin. I like all the pins that capture the original pixel art of pretty much all the games. I like those kind of pins. Looking at all those in the distance. I like my Link pins too. Where are we? Carlos Rodimus Prime. What plush set would you say is very underrated? In what character set? Underrated. That's always a tough one. I know the Avanti, they're kind of unknown. And the what was Sun Arrow, and Avanti plushes, they're kind of obscure. Um, so I don't know if that's really what you're asking because they're not really. Yeah, I don't know. That's a tough question. Underrated. That I'd have to think about that. Shiz and a Diz. I know, right? Would do anything for a Mr. L plush. Oh, Mr. L. Mr. Ouch. My favorite Paper Mario merch I've seen is the board game. Do you have that? Yes. I have the Jarapong. I think that's what you're talking about. Um, and then I've got some plushes. I've got some. They came out with these little clips that have Paper Mario, and I thought that was pretty funny. Shiz and a Diz, or just a Paper Mario set in general. I don't know why Sine doesn't focus on spin-off characters. Maybe because they're not allowed? Or they don't think they'd sell? I don't know. I'd love to be a fly on the wall in some Sine meetings about what they're going to do next and why they can't, and because Nintendo's so finicky about stuff. Luigi the Crab, most wanted Kirby item. I'm on the lookout for the Kirby's Adventure bath toy figure and the small Naughty plush from the same set as the extremely rare early Waddle Dee. Yeah, I don't like Naughty, but most wanted Kirby item. Probably the really early one with the star rod. I'd like that one. That'd be a good one. Are you ready for all the Mario movie merch to drop? No. It's about the same time that Universal Studios California opens for the Super Nintendo World. So, yeah. That's going to be tough. Gabfrog. What is the most rare Waluigi toy or merch? I'm going to say the one that I thought was a bootleg. Wow. I think it was only released in Japan, Australia. It's that Goldie Waluigi plush that was part of a set with Donkey Kong, Mario, Luigi, and one other guy I can't see. I'm looking at him over here. Yeah, and he came before Wario, which is basically unheard of. So I'm like, no way, this guy's real. And everyone proved me wrong, and I couldn't be happier. So I had to go find that one. That was a really good just inquiry. That was so great. Like someone came on I think it was Facebook group. I was like, what do we think about this Waluigi plush? And I'm like, no, no way. And he's like, well, it's got Goldie tags. I'm like, yeah, Goldie was really faked, and the Popco and the Goldie and all that stuff, that was really faked. So I'm pretty sure someone just threw a tag on it. Come to find out that it's real. So wild. I couldn't imagine. So yeah, that one's probably the rarest piece of merch because so many people don't know about it. If you want to see it, it's the mystery Waluigi plush video. Pingle Fingle. That's cool. You collect much Star Fox stuff? When I can, yeah. Aside from what you've made videos on, what else is there? I've got the Starlink stuff that just came out. That's cool that they had the R-Wing. I've always wanted an R-Wing like that. Where you can... yeah, because the Papercraft didn't really do it for me, when the Nintendo Power had their little Papercraft. And then I guess the next one was like the first 4 figures. You don't want to play around with a statue. So, yeah, I really like having that R-Wing. I wish they'd do a Landmaster. I know I have the little machine, what do they call that? Nintendo Machine Collection ones. But there's not a lot of detail on them. They're pretty small. But they have moving parts, so that's cool. So I have a Landmaster, but it's not what I want. But man, I'd love to see. I mean, Jack's never finished the set. They never gave us a Slippy, so that's sad. Slippy plush anyway. They gave us the full team. You better believe I have that. I'd love to have more Star Fox stuff. It's one of my favorites. Super Mario 19J. Do you own any good stuff Mario plushes? I think so. I think I do. That's pretty recent, I think, right? She's in a Diz. Has there ever been any EGAD merchandise? There is one item, and he's a Lego. Yeah, that was the first EGAD. I don't even think that there's a Keshi. I'd have to ask my Keshi guy on that. But yeah, what an underrated figure that is. There you go, underrated. Um, yeah, he has nothing out there, nothing at all, and that's wild. With he's been in 3 games plus cameos in Mario and Luigi. Um, he's kind of like the, you know, what's his name, Von Drake, um, in the Disney series, who's always making up crazy gadgets. He's like Nintendo's Von Drake. Shizen it is. What are your thoughts on that mother pizza box I sent you on Instagram? It honestly fooled me. Yeah, that one. Um, that one was like the CD or the music one. I think that's what you're talking about. Yeah, I had to do a double take on that one because it didn't seem retro to me because I'm very familiar with the retro stuff, and the only new stuff coming out is from Habonichi, so it's like I don't think it's real. But and then there's like quasi real, like the early fan gamer stuff that they were making for Earthbound and all that stuff. I kind of consider that like a official minus because they built their brand around Earthbound, and good for them because I loved watching Fan Gamer grow. It's such a great company. Shizen it is. I already covered that one. Super Luigi 782. Hello, Nightram. Huh. Been a huge fan of you for many years. Thank you. I was wondering, many people must ask you what your favorite item is, but my question is, what is your least favorite item you own? Ooh, that's a good question. Least favorite item. There's one item have refused to collect, and I don't know why. I think well, I knew early on, but now it's like I should probably have it anyway. It's that Mario Kart Peach early like pull. It's like a motorized cart, and she had like doll hair, and I hate it. I still don't like the design of it. It looks like a Barbie doll, um, and that just it didn't look like Peach's hair. Peach's hair should be, if you're doing plastic characters, you just stick with the plastic. So like I hated that. I still don't like it because the hair on almost all of them looked really bad. So yeah, that's probably my least favorite, but I don't have it. Uh, One that I do have that I don't like. I have like a Mexican bootleg figure. I like the sculpt and how janky it is, but it's unofficial. Anything I've managed, like some things I found out later were unofficial, and that kind of bothers me. Some of my Mega Man stuff is counterfeit, but it's really, really well done counterfeits. So it's like, and there's nothing. It's not like they took a figure and faked it and released it. It's its own deal, and it's really well done. And I kind of wish that they'd gotten a license for it. But so some of that stuff, it's like a tainted item for me. I don't really like to think about it. Like I got duped. Um, there's there's one there's one glass early on that I bought, like a mug, um, and it's just an etched on Mario. And I'm like, that's cool. I'll use that as a beer glass. And I got it home, and he was missing his mustache. And I'm like, what in the heck? And that kind of tipped off the whole thing. I'll have to show a video of that one. I think I still have it. I use it like for pens and stuff because I'm angry with it. It has no place in here. But yeah, that's kind of when I learned that I had been duped, and I vowed never to be duped again. But I got duped again. It happens. It's really hard to collect and not be duped by counterfeiters. But that's a good question. Thank you for that one. Alec Martin 12345. Plush wise, what are your biggest tips to avoid purchasing bootlegs or fakes? I really need to do a a big video on just because like by now I know right what's in what set. Sometimes I forget and I have to go back and look at what I have and what sets came out, and I have a lot of that kind of starting from the new Super Mario Brothers. I started grabbing screenshots of the release pictures because like WYSIWYG, you guys remember WYSIWYG from back in the day? They used to post that photo, and that's where I'd get all my information to go. It's like, hey guys, WYSIWYG has new stuff out. They'd just take a scan of their catalog that like Band Presto or Bandai was coming out with, and then they'd have that as their pre-orders for what they were going to order, and that's where we got all our information. But that was a good resource for knowing what was in the set. So half of it is knowing what's in the set, which is just research, and it's hard to find because my site died. But watch your print quality on tags. Look at the quality of stitching. And look, like, I think one of the things I still use is, if you are concerned, go into the seller's other items. If they have other Mario items and you find a bootleg, I don't order from them, because it's like, no, I'm not going to order. It's going to be fake. And a lot of times I just order direct from companies now, so I don't have to worry about it. But yeah, it's tough out there. If I was going to start collecting the new Super Mario Brothers plushes that I just did videos on, that'd be hard. Like, I just, in the community section of my page, I just posted a photo. Hey, are these fake or are they legit? And most people said fake, and they were legit. It's hard. So I guess just watch my videos to know more about what you're buying. Nostalgic Adam asks, do you have any regrets selling the Banjo Proto? No. I am kind of bummed that he decided to try to sell it, but I don't think he has. He hasn't had luck with it. But, at a certain point, you have to realize, once you let it go, you don't have a connection to it anymore. So, and I'm not the biggest Banjo fan. I was really excited to own Toy Site merchandise. So yeah, I've pretty much purged all my Banjo stuff. I've got a keychain I need to get rid of it, and maybe a couple other things, because, yeah, again, not the biggest Banjo fan, but and that's mainly why I sold it. Shizen it is Fangaver Mother merch official? Some of it is official, some of it is official light. So, like, really early on, they were selling a shirt that was Ness. It was Ness's shirt, and but they didn't use the character names, and they sold his hat, and they sold some other things, and then they did, like, the Mother 3 guide, which was unofficial, but it looked fantastic. They had all the little. They had an artist who I think still works for them today. She did all the clay models for it, and man, what a bunch of work that was. I work with clay sometimes too. I haven't in years, but I game recognized game. Like, I don't know if I could do as well as she did, because that was really good. But I don't think they've actually had the license. I think they now sell a Franklin badge that's official. But yeah, for a long time they had a bunch of stuff up that wasn't official, which is, I have some of that stuff because I just thought it was great that someone, like, really, it was the passion coming through from the fans that really made me buy it. And they had, like, some early Chrono Trigger stuff too that should have been made by other people, but they took it upon themselves because it wasn't being done. Katie Moulton says, how many years have you been collecting all of your Nintendo merch? 23, 24, long time. Bid Puppy 76, how much Banjo-Kazooie merchandise do you have? Not a lot left. I sold the plushes. I think I just have a couple of things left, and I might sell those too. Carlos Rodimus Prime. I was wondering, do you have the Barbie Super Mario accessories in your collection? No. Yeah, and they had Kirby too. Some of those things, and I didn't really have a good way to. They're such unique items, but I didn't really have room to display them, and I figured I'd lose them if I tried to take them out of the package and stuff. So, what an odd item. I thought that was great, and I love unique, weird stuff like that. Obviously, I mean, you've seen some of the stuff I collect. I mean, I think I have a Kirby humidifier, for God's sake, but yeah, I mean, I thought it was great, but I didn't, and it was cheap for a while because I don't know if it went over that well. But yeah, what an awesome item. Like, I wish I could have had room for it, but I didn't. Sweet Sukuban says, I miss WYSIWYG. Got all my Ocarina of Time and Mega Man Battle Network plushes from them. Good times, man. I got all my new Super Mario Brothers stuff from them, and I think I got my Ocarina of Time stuff from them. And I used them for a long time. And then, I don't know if you remember Anime Mate or Salty Pear. Like Salty Pear was his eBay name, and he used to put some of the rarest things. Like before I even really got into Yahoo Japan auctions, some of my stuff came from Anime Mate, and it was like that site was awesome to check every day because like some things would pop up and you'd be like, oh my gosh, what in the world? I didn't even know they made that. Oh, I miss those days. Those were great. And then he like fell off the face of the planet. I hope he didn't die, but it seemed that that could have been the case. Most wanted Mega Man item. Really want to get at least one plush from that Mega Man 3 plush set that I shared in the Facebook group. Yeah, those are great. I mean, I think I have had the option to buy those several times. This is Luigi the Crab asking me. And I just didn't. I don't know why I couldn't pull the trigger. I think it's like really expensive for them. When I was finding them, they were just too weird, too beyond the pale because I was pretty sure they were counterfeit, but I don't know. Didn't we decide that they were official? I'm not really sure if we did or not, but because it was such a random assortment, like the top man stage enemy guy. It was awesome. Anyway, you asked the question, most wanted Mega Man item right now. You know, those Hong Kong statues, those would be really awesome. For years, I've wanted a figure of like Mega Man X and the Dr. Light capsule. I wanted those two together, and I've seen pictures and images of those, and I think there's like a Wonder Swan kit that you'd have to like paint yourself, and I just don't have that kind of skill. I know I've seen those, and I think those are what I'd really want in the collection. But apart from that, there's some Sentinel figures like the Super Mega Man. Those surprised me about how expensive they were for how big they were. I have a couple of them, but I didn't go very far down that because they got really expensive really quick. Shiz again says, so only the Franklin badge is official. That's interesting. I could have sworn they had the license. Oh, they've made other things. I think like right now, the only thing that they have is a Franklin badge because I was trying to remember. But for the longest time, they had a bunch of unofficial stuff, and then they finally got, I think, the license shortly after the Mother 3 thing that they did, which was interesting because Nintendo probably didn't like that, but then they were able to create actual things. So yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff. I think it's mostly soundtracks and stuff like that, and a lot of figures. But Mr. Ouch, do you have any Bomberman Beta Man figures? I do. I have those are like the ones that have the marble that shoot out of its gut. I've got, I think, 2 of those. You gotta love Bomberman. Good party game. Bid Puppy 76. Are you excited for Pikmin 4? Yes. That's easy. Yeah, we don't know much of anything to expect. It's been like, what, 7 years since Miyamoto said it was done randomly, and that it wasn't in a press conference, I don't think, but he said it like in an interview or something like, Pikmin 4 is done. Why don't we have it? That was such a weird thing, and it's been a long time since he said that, and now again we have like a name and some other small details, but not a whole lot of anything. Excited for Pikmin 4 merchandise to come out when the game does. Yeah, new Pikmin stuff is great. I wish they'd have a Charlie and oh my gosh, what's her name? Bethany? Is that her name? Alfie? Bethany? Or is it Becca? I don't know. Whatever the B name chick is. I wish they had figures of all those characters. Douglas Fossmer, what is your rarest Donkey Kong item? Oh, probably Winky? The Winky plush? It took me the longest to find. I wish I had Squawks. I had a chance to get that in an auction, but man, did that go crazy. Congrats to the guy who got that, because Squawks is great. He's one of my favorite characters too. I wish they made a Rambi plush. That's the thing I want. But no Rambi. Rambi's the best. How could you forget Randy? He's the first character you hop on in the game. Hadouken Final Tap King. Is there a lot of poison mushroom memorabilia, specifically the FDS black and brown one? Um, I don't know of any in that. I know of the kind of crap poison mushroom that they came out with. The early Hot Topic stuff that had like the skull and crossbones on the mushroom and it was purple. That's the only stuff I know of for poison mushrooms, which is sad. Why isn't there more poison mushroom memorabilia? Um, there's one stress toy, the black and brown one. There's a stress toy. Wonder where that is. I don't remember if I think I determined that set may have been counterfeit. I might have to do a video on that because I bought that for that mushroom because I was so excited that they finally came out with a poison mushroom and then it was fake. Yeah, I'll have to look at that. Good question. Sweet Sukabod. Once WYSIWYG left it all, was YJ for me. Missed those days. Way easier and cheaper to collect back then. Agreed. A lot of those import sites went belly up at that time, like Lick Sang. That was sad. And then Play Asia is still going strong, but they still don't have good prices. Weed of the Crab. Yeah, we found the set sheet for the Mega Man 3 plushes and found that. Yeah, I remember that now. Oh, excuse me. Alec Martin, 12345. It's been a while since I've seen your Mario Party 5 plush video. Do you own the giant 42? No, I don't have room for those big ones. That'd be fun, though. I'd probably get the BDNA giants before I got those ones. Excuse me. Nostalgic Adam, has anyone made you a serious offer for your collection? Do you have a magic number? No and no. I've had people offer me for specific things, but nothing like the prototypes. I've had a good offer for the prototypes, but nothing for the full collection. And a magic number? No idea. No idea. It'd be tough to let all go. There's a Lego poison mushroom. Hey, SMB collector, how you doing? You are correct. There is a Lego one, but it's not the FDS version. Excuse me. having some Decemberitis here. Final Tap King. I also cannot find much information on those stress toys. I own the mushrooms, but I'm missing a question block. Are you talking about the... I wonder if you're talking about... Because I'm talking about Banpresto stress toys. And I know there's been a lot of stress toys released over and over. Like the Squishmallows. Something like that. Squishalish. The Squishdelish. Squishy. Yeah. There's mushrooms and coin blocks. And then the unofficial one had like coins and stuff. But man, I'll have to show them to you. They got me on that one. I'm pretty sure it's fake, but I think they got me on that one because they're really well done. Shizen it is. Have you interacted with Kakai? Some. It's really hard to communicate with him. I don't think we really understood what we were talking about. Because I was like, hey, do you want anything from America? Do you want anything of the stuff that it's really hard to find? And then we kind of got talking. It's like, well, what would we do? Because there's stuff like, can you send me stuff from Japan? And we had a little bit of stuff like that. Guy's amazing, though. I'd like to know him more. But, the language barrier, the distance, all these things. I'm sure he's aware of me. I'm definitely aware of him. But and we've had some talk, but not a lot. It hasn't really gone anywhere. But that'd be something that's fun. Final Tap King, I'd love to see a question block video. They're always so inconsistent when it comes to what's on the bottom and what's on the top. Sometimes it's blank, sometimes it has a question mark. Yeah, it's like no one really has seen like a design sheet for what a coin block is supposed to look like. But a lot of time it's dictated by like what the item is. Like if it's a coin block, it's like, or like a coin bank, there's like a little thing on the bottom to twist off. So, but you're right. There's like just in. Well, this isn't a coin block. Here we go. Like this one, you got coins all the way around, and then nothing on the top. And you have brown on the bottom. That's a good observation. And I've got so many coin blocks now. It'd be an interesting video. Noah Washington, have you ever considered moving the collection to a different house? I've done it twice. Before it was in its own room, I kind of had it in our office when my wife and I were living in apartments, and it just kind of took up maybe like a corner like this, just like 4 bookcases or something. And then it came to like 5, and then it was like 6, and then we moved into a new house, and I had my own room, and that was the old room, and now we moved a second time, and this is the room that my dad and I built to house it all. And I still wish I had more space, but you know, that's just how it is. I'm lucky to have this with 5 kids in the house. Let's see. Moving along. Oh, Shiz in the Diz is asking SMB Collector and me. Not sure if you remember, but my name's Tanner. We interacted on Instagram a while back. Sweet Sukabun, have you noticed there's less off-model Mario merchandise? Certainly. In the 80s and 90s, Mario had all sorts of costumes and fun designs. Now it's just the same thing. Yeah, it's getting old. We'll see some different stuff with the Mario movie, but that's about it, right? I think they've Mickey'd it up. Mickey had the same kind of deal where they finally decided to lay it all out. This is exactly how Mickey should look. This is exactly, and then they tweak the design, which I hope that, you know, Nintendo lasts long enough to do that. They're around, you know, they're old, but character-wise, they should take some notes from Mickey Mouse, because he had like 90. Mickey has a 90s version. And they have altered him throughout the years, but Mario has been pretty standard since like New Super Mario Brothers, where they decided like this is his exact dimensions. And yeah, then they have someone at Nintendo that's like the inspector of everything that comes through. So they'll send a prototype and it's like tweak this, tweak that, then you can send it. You can get a lot of that info from like First Four Figures when they talk about how they design things, and when they go to, because like all these big brands that they work with have somebody that makes sure that it looks just right. But then First Four Figures also takes like fan commentary, like, hey, does this look right? Great company, but that's beyond the point. I have noticed that there's much less because there shouldn't be. Like the people who have the licenses have to adhere to Nintendo's rules, and we know about Nintendo's rules. So especially like how controlling they are of Mario, and it's very reminiscent of how controlling Disney was with Mickey. So yeah, just it's a good observation. But yeah, moving forward, I don't think we're going to see a whole lot of variation, which is a bummer. Band Presto 2007 set. Yeah, we might be talking about the same one then, Tap King. I'll have to dig them out, because there's also like there's a plastic. I think that is official then, because the stress toys that I have hanging over there, I bet it's over there. I can't get up because I've blocked in. But the plastic ones that I have that kind of follow that same deal, I think those are the ones that are the counterfeit. So I think there actually is an on-model poison mushroom out there. What makes a good plush? Dolmera 999. That's a great question. I don't do much collecting, but I worry about companies making too much cheap and low quality merchandise that isn't made to last. Go with Sine. And their distribution arm in North America is Little Buddy. I have been thoroughly impressed for a long time with their work. But of course, they don't do everything, but like the best version of the character in plush form is going to come from Sine if they have it. But you have to look at things like the pattern, how well the character is um, portrayed in the plush, and then decide whether or not it's worth your cash. It's hard to buy from a picture, right? It's hard to not to hold it, especially plushes. Um, but for the most, like the Jax plushes aren't too terrible. They're a little interesting from Sukuban's question above. Are you noticing less off-model stuff? Not in the figures, but the plushes, right? The Jax plushes are way weird, and they're kind of getting away with stuff on that side, if you ask me. But um, they're cheaper, they're lower quality, but they're not bad. Like for the most part, I'm not concerned about Mario stuff being low quality because that's just. I think that Nintendo pretty much, for the most part, does a good job of ensuring that the licensors that they work with um, do a good job, or licensees that they work with do a good job with their IPs. Final Tap King. I don't see anyone having them but you and I. You're probably right. Um, that obscure stuff, and you have to be paying attention, right? Hey Tanner, yeah, I know you. Blah blah. Good that people are connecting on this. Shiz it is. What do you think when you see a collection with a good amount of bootleg merchandise in it? Oh, it makes me sad. It. I mean, what is my place there? I don't want to be like, oh, nice collection, but it's full of bootlegs. Like that's it could have been grandma got it for him, saw it on walmart.com and figured it was official because bootleggers are selling all over walmart.com because walmart.com has allowed third party sellers to come up with regular search results, which is nothing could be greater for the bootleg community than walmart.com. I mean, good lord. And maybe they have a connection to it. In the end, people can spend their money on whatever. I kind of feel beholden to let them know that it's a bootleg. If they try to sell it as official, I'll be all over it. If I see that, I'm like, no, that's a unofficial, even like counterfeit plush. So I don't hawk a lot of sales in that sense. But if I come across it in my feed, I'm like, don't even try to. If it's eBay and someone's trying to get away with something, I'll alert people in my Facebook group. Like, don't buy this. It's a joke. But I hate bootleg stuff when it comes to that stuff. When a plush is out there, actually diminishing the value of a legitimate plush. That's what I really hate. Like it's pulling the value of my collection down because some jerk copied the plush. So it's in my best interest to call people out on it, but I don't like doing it. It's not fun being like, hey, great collection. It's full of garbage. So I don't do that when people show off for the most part, unless it's like egregious. But I try to be like, if you want to learn more about your collection, I can help you out. There's a lot of fakes in the collection if you care to know. But if you don't, then whatever. There's also a little bit of a thing like if someone bought a bunch of bootlegs and then tried to take over the Guinness World Record, then it's like I'd be kind of upset by that too. So anyway, Final Tap King, is there a location I can go for Mario collecting like a Discord? I've always been collecting since I've watched you back in 2008. Want to get into the community. This is where I'm sad because I don't have the time to build a community like that again. And it's one of the things I would have loved to keep going with my site, like the database and stuff like that, where people could come and collect, because it's like I know I have all this knowledge, and sometimes, like through the years and years I've been collecting, I forget like what's in a set or whatever. I had to do quite a bit of research online for the new Super Mario Brothers stuff, so it's one of those things where there's not a good resource. There's a hole that I can fill, and I do not have the time to get it done. I do have a Discord, but I have a bunch of moderators that kind of use that, and you can find the link on the Facebook group. But yeah, I don't do a whole lot there because when I have time, I'm dealing with the Facebook group, or I'm posting to Instagram, or I'm trying to get a YouTube video, and that's, it's hard to find time for all this stuff. Like this is doing even this live stream is I had to move some parts and pieces. So okay. Kikai is a really good guy. He's always interested in stuff outside of Japan. Yeah, I'd love to help the guy out. Because he has everything that's been released in Japan, right? I don't know where he keeps it all, because he's shown his collection a few times, and it's like it's a room smaller than this, and it's like, well, if I have all this stuff, I mean, he just collects Mario, so there's a lot in here that's not Mario, but it is one of those things that you might have a storage unit or something else, or I don't know what he does, but I'm sure he's interested in some of the stuff that I have because I'm interested in some of the stuff he has. Alec Martin, if you don't mind me asking, how old are your kids now? I remember videos long ago, some of them playing Super Mario Brothers. Yeah. Oldest 14. My second oldest is going to be 13 here real soon. And then we have a 5-year-old, a recently turned 4-year-old, and a 2-year-old. Yeah, Noah Washington, for the Super Mario RPG plushes, do you think they made a Geno and a Mallow plush? I know that they did not make a Geno. I know that they did make a Mallow. We know that because we saw the set sheet recently. There is no Geno. That's sad. I don't know why they wouldn't, but it was a different time. 95, 96 era, because they would have had the release of the merchandise in 96. So, yeah, just a different time back then. And it was still kind of blossoming. And the merchandise scene was pretty low. They made a lot of Super Mario World and Mario Kart stuff, but it wasn't like, I don't know, RPG was kind of an experiment for them between Square. And with two companies holding the license, essentially, I'm sure there was a whole deal with that, with the merchandise, because there's not a lot of it. And there's a lot more of other things. So I wonder if that was a hitching point. But yeah, we have found the set sheet. It's somewhere on the Facebook group if you want to look at it. And I have a video on my YouTube here of Dio unboxing the Mallow plush that he bought. Final Tap King, I have a set of SMB2 FDS Sapporo glasses. Do you also happen to own them? I don't know much on them. Sorry, all the questions. Oh, don't say you're sorry for questions. I love this. I do not have the glasses. I don't want to import anything that can break easily. I have not bought the Dr. Mario glassware that I really want because I don't want it to bust up in shipping and just be like sad that a bunch of broken glass ended up shipping. And I don't know, what am I going to do with glasses? It's cool that you have them though. Yeah, because SMB2. Are you a big SMB2 fan? Is that your deal? Because it sounds like it. Do you have the disc and everything? I've got the original Famicom and the disc system, and then I also have a Sharp Twin. I love playing on those. They're just so much fun. I really liked. I don't know if you played Doki Doki Panic Dream Castle on it. Like that was that was so crazy. It broke me when I played it the first time because I'd heard about it before. I'm like, I have to experience this myself. It's so wild. So, yeah, I don't have the glasses. Okay, Sugabon. My thoughts exactly on the Mickey comparison. Old Mickey had a lot of charm, right? Nostalgia. It's a big driving factor. Shiz, luckily the only bootleg item I've ever bought was a Casino Luigi plush. Big one. That was a big one back in the day. I think we had a conversation. The seller said prototype. Could have sworn it was time. Yeah, if they're saying stuff like prototype on a commonly faked plush, look away. Shiz, I think we had to get a well-known Luigi collector to help us. Yes, that was Soul DreamX, my good friend. She knows all things Luigi. So, and I knew with like 80% certainty that it was a bootleg. So, but she knows. Wonder if Kikai has a Mallow plush. I don't think he does. I think he would have. I think I would have seen it in his stuff. But he has a lot of other stuff he doesn't show off much, like the Mario and Donkey Kong figure that he has. I know he has that, but he didn't have it on his website. So back in the day, who knows? He could have it now. Dongus Congus. Do you think we will get Mario movie figures? That's an easy question. Yeah, we'll get him. I think it's already been said. Yeah, Jax has the rights to it, which is sad, but we might have other stuff coming out. We'll see what Japan gets. Padman Production. Those are a lot of toys. Yeah, welcome to the party, pal. Final Tap King. Hope they talk like the live action ones do. Oh, that'd be kind of interesting to have a Chris Pratt Mario. I could see some memes happening with that. Dongus Congus, I just hoping for a Bowser like the World Nintendo Deluxe. Oh, yeah, Bowser looks awesome. I'm really happy with Bowser. Luigi the Crab, do you have any Kirby 64 plushes outside of the reversible set? Love that era. I have the one of the RC. There's the Penguin, which I'm sure has a better name than Penguin, but I have the Kirby one that is on wheels. And I have some other Kirby 64 plushes. Pretty sure. That's one I kind of had a hard time with for some reason. I don't remember getting a whole lot of Kirby. I got some Kirby 64 figures and charms and pins and stuff, but I think by the time I found them, because I was collecting so much Mario stuff, I was lighter on Kirby back then. So, yeah. It was more expensive, I think, to own those at that time when I found them. So, and now they're like, forget it. Yeah, Final Tap King, personal favorite. I love versus SMB. Yeah, although my mini don't, and that's fair. However, versus MBC is harder in my opinion. Yeah, it's totally harder. And then yeah, SMB2 is a beast, especially on original hardware. I remember beating it on Super Mario All Stars, and that was like a big deal. And you get a patch and everything, but the no warping patch. But the original hardware, I don't even know if I've beat it yet, because you can't. I don't think you can tell when the wind is going like you could in the All Star version, if I remember correctly. So, Noah Washington, are you going to buy the Mario Brothers movie merchandise? I'm sure I'll end up with some of it. You know what I want him to make is like a plumbing truck with Mario and Luigi on it, because you always see all those memes of all the companies out there, Mario Brothers Plumbing. That'd be pretty sweet if they had like a figure set of that or some kind of Hot Wheels tie-in. I'd buy that. Majority Gamer P, have you thought about doing a Luigi's Mansion merchandise video? Yeah, thought about it. It'd be a lot of work. Rutabaga, I have to head out, get ready for bed, morning shift. Thanks for the stream. Hope you do more in the future. Yeah, this was fun. Thanks for coming. No, Washington, how was it working with Guinness Book of World Record? Well, if you saw the aftermath video of how that was, like it was a lot of fun, but like it was so much work after that, and I had to get it all back in the room shortly after they came because like the kids had access to everything. It was because they just completely tore the room apart. But yeah, it was a hell of a thing. It was really cool to have them come in. There were 3 guys that came in the room, and there was a 2 guys and a gal, and they all had their little official clickers, and they left me one, which is awesome. And they all went through the collection room. This is at the last house, and they like when they saw a figure, they clicked. And I just heard a bunch of clicking, and just listening to them click was such a surreal thing. And then I asked them when they were done, it's like, well, when you saw a set of like a box set of figures that had like 10 figures in it, did you count that as 1 or did you count that as 10? And one guy said 1 and one guy said 10. So definitely an unofficial count on which is like, it felt low when they came back and said it was only like 8,000 items. But I don't have the time to make a database, let alone much of these videos. So it's time. Go Kirby set. There it is. Emp the penguin, of course you know, is up there as one of my grails, along with his keychain plush. Strange that he has more plushes than Nago and Pitch, right? That was such a weird character to have stuff with. Same with, I think I feel the same about Naughty. Having him be in a plush set was weird when there's like so many other characters that are better. And like, because you you don't want to run into a Naughty and take his power, because then you fall asleep and you're so like in the game I always hated finding one because I'm like, I don't want to deal with you. So I didn't want to figure of it. Dongus Congus, have you seen the new Banjo Kazooie figure set coming from Premium DNA? No. But there's a ton of stuff. Was that the one with like the eyes that have the curls, like he's smiling with his eyes? Then I may have seen those, but I think those are the fan gamer ones, so I don't think that that's right. But yeah, lately there's been a lot of Banjo Kazooie love, probably because of Smash Brothers and, well, probably because of Smash Brothers. Tap King. I beat an All-Stars first, then I did the FDS version, which was tough because of the requirements for maximum stars. Then I did the GBC for Super Players Port, and the challenge was to scream. Yeah, that was... I remember playing that Game Boy Color. I remember loving the Boo Chase on that game. Rodimus Prime. Is there any book about Nintendo collecting or gaming memorabilia? Interesting. There are a few, but they're like self-printed. Kikai did a book, and it's not everything he has. It mainly focuses on the little figures. So he has like a little book about that. I've thought of doing it. Gosh, that's a lot of work though. But yeah, there's not really anything like official. Maybe that's what I should do when I have more time, is approach Nintendo about an official collecting guide or something. Luigi the Crab. I guess the Naughty was super easy to make since it was so early in the series. Sir Kibble would have been better, yeah. Yeah, a lot of those, like the I just wanted a Mr. Chili, the Chili plush. I think that would have been easier than Naughty, maybe even, but Chili's my guy. 20 people watching. I wonder what the total was. I haven't been watching how many people are on. Anyway, I was gonna open something live. I'm open. See, so back when someone asked me, when do you decide to open merchandise, like these aren't going to be, super rare. I don't think any of the Hot Wheels stuff beyond the rose gold peach and the original metal Marios, the gold and the silver, those will be rare, but everything else is going to be just fun to collect. And I like to hang mine. Hopefully you guys have seen that. See how close we can get. I love the Bowser parafoil. What else did I have to open? I had... Oh, yeah. I have my favorite Mario Kart driver as well. Lakitu, and he's got a red shell, and he has a Mario Kart TV parafoil. Doo-doo. Mario Kart Television. I love that little logo with the Lakitu. Do you collect the SMB games as well? Oh, come on. Of course I do. Or do you focus more on the memorabilia? Like, do you own things like SMB Special? I do have SMB Special. I collected a lot of that stuff back when it was cheaper to do so. Now I probably wouldn't touch the stuff. But I have every system, Japanese and like every common system, right? Um, I've got like a Game Boy Pocket that had the Game Boy Light that had the backlight before the color. I have, what are my rare? I mean, I've got a Virtual Boy and some games. I've got Super Famicom and the original Famicom, and I have the disk drive for N64, 64DD. Um, but then there was no reason to import a GameCube. I wanted an iQ, but like, it was cool for a little while, and now it's like a fun to have item. It's fun to show off an iQ, but yeah, there's no real reason to get one now. It's not like they run better. Maybe they do. I don't know. As long as I can play the games, I'm happy. So, um, yeah, I collect the games. I've got a ton of Switch games, and not all of them are like for kids either. Like what the kids would like. But I'm super into like indie games and stuff. I know I don't talk a lot about the games I play. Right now, I'm playing Eastward, um, and I really like the art style, and the narrative is kind of unsettling, and I like that, and it's but I have had some problems with the game, like uh, when I sometimes when I go into a room, the game crashes, and I'm like, that's kind of I hate it when that happens, like a big glitch in a game that you'd think would be better. One of the best games ever I've played, Spiritfarer. Spiritfarer is available just about on anything, and I'm sure it goes on sale from now and then. That game was so good. I loved the narrative, and yeah, just yeah, like I think the indie games are more what I used to play like on Super Nintendo. No one really does that anymore. I have a PS5. I really liked Horizon Zero Dawn, and I played Forbidden West, and those games blow me away. Those are amazing. All the effort that goes into those. But I play it all. I'm trying to be a very well-rounded gamer and play as much as I can from as many different places as I can, and as I can afford it, right? So, have you ever had to scan something for archive or lost media? Yeah, there's been some people that have approached me for scans of things, and I've scanned a lot of my set sheets too. I need to get those up somewhere, but I don't know where to get them up. Aside from making another website, which is like, bleh, don't want to do that. So yeah, I'm gonna hang 2 more Mario Kart figures, and these are coming out pretty slow. These glider ones. I have a Yoshi one that, or no, it's a Toad one that has a Yoshi emblem on it, which is funny. It's like a misprint. I kind of wish I would have caught that before I opened it, but oh well. What else did I recently get? Got these guys. I hear they're kind of difficult to get. Like around here, it's really hit or miss with the jack stuff. Sometimes I have to drive to Walmarts that are out of the way, and it's just a waste of my time. And I got this. I'm really surprised and kind of bummed about how hard this was to find. But now that I have it, I really want to open it and put other things in that clown car and just have like a series of Instagram photos of different things in the clown car. Like maybe I should start another entire Instagram thing and just pictures of clown car things. Because like we need a King DDD in a clown car. Do Do you have any animation cells? Recently picked up a Captain N Mega Man. Nice. I do. I don't have them on display, and I really need to get them like framed, and I haven't. They're just sitting in a. They are sitting in a box that is like acid free, but I need to get that taken care of so they don't get ruined. Mine are from. I have some Super Mario Super Show. I've got like a Super Mario World, and I have some real Ghostbusters stuff. I've got like a shot of all 4 Ghostbusters. What is, in your opinion, Raging in Ice Furno? That's a cool name. What is your opinion, the rarest item in your collection? That's a classic question. Rarest item in my collection is a GameStop Boo beanbag. I named him Barry. Do you have one? I will do a video on mine collection soon. I don't recall a GameStop Boo beanbag. I just did an Instagram photo of my Boo collection, and I think I missed some stuff, but I don't think I have a beanbag Boo. That'd be cool. Never heard of that. I'll have to check that out. So, rarest item. I mean, the easy answer is the prototypes, because they were never released. So, likely that it's one of a very few in the world of those prototypes. So, because we were talking about the Toy Fair toy site figures, and it's like, did they have more than one at the booth? And it's like, half of me says, I hope they had more than one in case they had a problem, and half of me says, I hope they didn't, because then I have the only one in the world. But it's really unlikely that it's just one in the entire world. I mean, I have never seen another one of the figures, or any of the other prototypes in that display. I mean, I bought the ones that I have off of eBay for pennies on the dollar when they were out, just like random, came across those, and I bought as many as I could. And I still regret not getting that Dragon Wario, because I wanted that so bad. But or Chunky Kong, that was another one I wanted pretty bad. But yeah, when you do something like that, especially painted, the company probably had unpainted prototypes back at the back in the lab or whatever, the sculptor studio. Full size beanbag chair. Oh yeah, okay, I know what you're talking about now. Those are cool. Those were, I didn't know GameStop. Well, yeah, GameStop carried them. They were imported from Japan, and I never got the Japanese one because of the shipping price. But yeah, they did come out with them. I remember them going on insane sale, and it was like still too much, because like the Boo would cover up this entire plus Avalanche. So I don't have any more room for something like that. But it was really cool. It's cool that you have them. I love the name Barry, by the way. That's great. Anyway, we were talking about, what was I talking about? Japan. Rare toy fair stuff, toy site. I imagine they have more unpainted stuff, but that might have all been destroyed when the license got pulled, or they got absorbed because Toy Site went out of business. And it could be that they're like, the one artist escaped with what they had made and decided to eBay it, likely illegally, and I ended up with it. It's one of those random things. Then you had one of the Zeldas show up at a thrift store, and someone bought it. So I don't know. That one was. I really wish that entire series was made. It's so fun to, think about. I thought that was a great set. All the Zelda stuff, especially, I thought the Zelda stuff was really the greatest. But didn't come out. Still a bummer. We had so few toys out at that time. Japan is usually always $20 to ship to USA. Well, the Boo beanbag plush would be like in the hundreds to ship, I think. But yeah, one item. I don't ever ship one item from Japan. I have a rather large box coming soon, of all kinds of goodies that hopefully I'll do a video on soon. But Do you ever feel like doing anything like stop motion with your figures all the time? Oh man, I'd love to do stop motion. Stop motion is one of my favorite forms of animation. I've done some stop motion stuff with the figures, but I don't think I've made it on the YouTube channel. I don't even know where it is anymore, but I did want to. I have an idea for a really cool stop motion video. Um, Maybe I'll have time to do that, but it's so tedious. I've done a lot of stop motion work, so um, I would love to be able to do that. And I've got a lot of really good figures to do that with that are just sitting on a shelf. But yeah, I love stop motion. Sorry to beat a dead horse, says Alec Martin, but why exactly didn't you like Super Mario Sunshine? I asked because it's my favorite Mario game, and I definitely hear my share of criticism on it. It was fun. I remember my hate grew during the blue coin collecting marathon because of the pachinko machine and that specific water level that I'll never forget. And I was down to my last 2 lives trying to get that blue coin at the end of that water thing. And I remember landing on the edge. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm on the edge. Because you have to like follow the lily pad, right? And push the lily pad. And I fell on the edge of it. And I paused the game and I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe. Because it's one of my last few lives. And I always was falling off and everything. And I remember pausing and having to walk away so my nerves would calm down. And I finally, like, I got that blue coin and I jumped up and down for a long time. I like aspects of the game. The soundtrack is one of the best. The bosses are great in that game. I don't like the weird dialogue, which, maybe I'll get over because of the Mario movie. But the premise was, I don't know, it wasn't my favorite. Coming off of Super Mario 64, I mean, that game was crazy. They had to go pretty outlandish to get away from that, but I don't know. It definitely wasn't one of my favorites. But when I come from like Super Mario Brothers 3 and just like that was my whole world for so long, yeah, I don't know. It has fair criticisms. The camera's rough. Playing it today is rough. I remember going back on the original hardware and like, oh, I couldn't play it because now I'm so used to dual stick control, and like more free camera movement. And back then Nintendo was king of the camera. Like they were showing people on what to do with the camera, and it was still it was just it was early in 3D. So, but yeah, for Super Mario Sunshine, I got rid of a lot of my Sunshine stuff because it just wasn't. I don't know. It just didn't click with me. Maybe it was like a lot of the iconic characters weren't there. I liked the new characters, but it wasn't like I didn't like the Piantas much or the Nokis. Like the races on the island, they were cool, and I had plushes of those a while back. I had the whole set, but I sold them. Should have held on to them longer to sell them. Now they'd be crazy. But like they didn't have a lot of the classic characters in there, and I think that just kind of bummed me out. Okay, that was a long tangent. Started doing stop motion with my collectibles, and it's fun. It is a lot of fun to do stop motion. I will subscribe. Let's see if I can subscribe. Oh, I can't. I have to find you. Mysterious K. That's weird that it won't let me. It should just be a link to your name. Let's see. Go to channel. Hey, I found it. I am subscribed. Cool. Raging Ice Verno. Serious K. Games love to punish completionists. Indeed. And I'm one of those. I am actually one of the few that are glad that Nintendo doesn't have like a trophy system because I've only platinumed a few games on Sony and done like various things on Xbox. But that if Nintendo had that, I'd never leave a game. Like I just like. Do you think we will see Mario Sunshine 2 in our lifetime? Never say never. Alec Martin, that's absolutely a fair opinion to have. Yeah, I mean, if you've played it, you can have an opinion. That's how I kind of think of things. Like, no one should have an opinion on the Mario movie right now because you've seen a lot of stuff out of context, right? Let it play out. If you don't like it at the end of the movie, you can have an opinion. Right now, no. Mysterious K, thanks. I've been lurking on your channel for quite some time now. Don't be a jerk. Don't lurk. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I wish more people would speak up and get me to go see things because I love stop motion and that's man, every time I get sucked into a stop motion rabbit hole, I come out the other side just wishing I had more time. So I remember one of my thesis program pieces from college was a stop motion animation, and I actually submitted it to a film festival. I think I got it second place. It's only because I had this whole idea of what I was going to do with this character, and then a major blizzard hit, and I had all this extra time on my hands. So I'm like, let's expand, and I got my cats into it, and it was a whole thing. But then at the end, it was like none of it made sense. So it was really cool stop motion, but I should have storyboarded. So yeah, if you're going to spend that much time, you better have a good storyboard. Crazy Kari. I made it cool. I'm around in the Spyro and Crash collecting scene. Own one of the rarest Spyro plushes of all time. Only 2 other people are known to own it online. What is that? I wonder what that is. I want to make a guess. Is it the Sparks plush? I'll guess. I have one. I need to sell my Crash and Spyro stuff. So if you're looking to get some stuff, we need to talk. 900 Korok seeds in BOTW was evil. Did you complete that, Mysterious K? Because oh mine, I could not bring myself to do that. I thought that was a waste of time. I had to spoil myself to see, like what is it that you get, and you get like a golden poo, and I'm like no. Like you get the badge of honor, but really, if you did the whole thing, man, I don't know. That's time. A lot of time I could be spending, well, on other games and stuff. I want to experience more games. So, Luigi the Crab, how much would you value the Rockman 4 plushes at? Mostly Wily, as I haven't seen one in the U.S. for a long time. Ooh, tough to say. In good condition, like a lot of them don't seem to be in great condition, as I'm sure you've seen. They weren't the best constructed plushes of all time, and they're kind of thin and like fat. I guess the fabric, they stuffed them like crazy, so they all look like super deformed, right? I'd imagine Pharaoh Man would be like maybe the rarest one, but Wily, I mean, I'd do $100 on it. If I was to sell mine, I don't know if it would be worth more than that. Like I'd want 100 at least for it, but I haven't really looked at prices for that lately. I'd want to see that collection net that much, but I don't know if that's a thing. But since they're one of the only retro Mega Man plushes out there, I think at least 100. Raging Ice Ferno, they're having a conversation on their own. Ooh, Shine Sprite plushes. I've seen a lot of fakes for those. If they're droopy, it's probably a fake. Alec Martin, Racing Inferno. Absolutely recommend it. Yeah, those Shine Sprites are tough to find. Place for collectors to hang out online. Right here, buddy. No. My Facebook group, we do, I mean, if you like the kind of stuff that you see behind me and Mega Man and Kirby and whatever, along with, I mean, people talk about Halo stuff. They'll talk about all manner of video game merchandise on the Facebook group. It's the Video Game Memorabilia Museum Facebook group. I also have a Discord that we don't really maintain a whole lot. I was hoping to do more with that, and my Instagram page. Insta is there. $20 people watching. This is cool. It's been a lot of fun. Got to talk to a lot of collectors. Got a lot of good conversations going off of these good questions. Nothing but good questions. And you always wonder when you do something like this if you're going to run into like a troll or something. And it's been all very positive, so that's very good. So I just recently set like all this stuff back up. So if you have any comments on how this looks, let me know. It's kind of like there's a Mario Kart, rideable Mario Kart under here somewhere. I just recently got, there was a Black Friday deal on a new Bowser backpack, and I've had that Bowser backpack back there from World of Nintendo right over my shoulder here for a long time. It was from the World of Nintendo store in New York, and yeah, they just came out with another one, but it was like an $80 backpack, so I got on a Black Friday deal for a good price. What happened to the glass on your World of Nintendo cabinet? For ease of photographing and for ease of moving things in and out and not crushing items, I took the doors off. They're in my garage. Crazy Kari. For some reason, a lot of the Spyro plushies had him standing rather than on 4 legs. Yeah, that was weird. You'd think a plush of a dragon would be always on 4 legs, but I did notice that on the Spyro stuff that they had a lot of. Did you answer my question up there? Let me see. Crazy Kari. No, you didn't. What plush are you talking about that you and only 2 other people are known to own it online? What is that plush? I'm curious now. Alec Martin, do your kids ever try to get into your collection room? I remember my younger sisters and pets always snooping around my collection growing up. The biggest infraction in that department is my cats. I do not let them in here. And if you own cats, you know that locked doors are their enemy. They don't like locked doors. They always want to know because curious kitty cats. They have been in here a couple of times, but I've shooed them out. And it's just like so overwhelming and the smells and everything. They don't know what to do, so they get shooed out pretty quickly. And they know they're not supposed to be in here, but cats, man, cats. But yes, my kids, all 5 of them have been in here. I let my oldest come in here the most. He can look around and ask questions and stuff. And he's asked me all the same questions you guys have asked, like what's the rarest and what's your favorite and what's this and what's that. But and like my oldest is really into the same kind of games that I am. He loves Star Fox. Right now he's playing Destiny 2. He loves Ghostbusters like I do. He likes a lot of the same things I do. My second oldest also comes in here and he likes all this stuff. He's really into Pokemon. So he's like, "Where's the Pokemon stuff, Dad?" Which I get all the time. But yeah, they've all been in here. The little ones I'm really wary of, though. Obviously, I don't want them coming in here and ripping stuff open. But and really, like to them, it'd be like walking into a toy store, and it's like almost not fair to them to see it because it's like, well, why can't I play with these things? So there's been a couple of things where they've seen something that they really like, and I'll try to get it for them if it's not too rare. So they have a lot of the Hot Wheels and stuff and figures to play with if they want them. But I don't really push anything on them. I like them to kind of fall into their own fandoms. Like my my youngest 3 are big into Power Rangers right now, and I did not ever like Power Rangers. And they're so into Power Rangers. So I'm buying Power Ranger stuff now. I never thought I'd ever buy Power Ranger stuff, but here we are 2022 and I'm buying Power Ranger stuff for Christmas. Um, they're great though. They don't really know a lot of Mario. My little girl, my 4 year old, she's my gamer. Like once she can actually like really play games, she's gonna be huge into games, and I'm gonna love showing her some of the best experiences out there. Where are we now? Luigi the Crab recently came into contact with two Wileys. One was all torn up and sold in an hour for 50. Scored a mint for $8 to replace him. Sweet. Yeah, I mean, I'd expect those to be a lot more, but not if they're torn up. Like $50 for a torn up plush is rough. But your deals are amazing, man. I'm jealous of your deals. Even though I already have like a lot of the things that you get, but it's like Thoughts on Hallmark Mario ornaments, especially the tiny ones? Too expensive. I have them. Dang it, they got me. But they are quality. The little ones are just kind of dumb though. I liked the Link little one, but all of the full size ones are fantastic. The the Super Nintendo console one, get out of town. Loved that. The NES, those were some of my favorites. Raccoon Mario came out this year. Had to buy that. Um, yeah, I don't know. I think they're great. Everything's too expensive, but they're great. What can I say? Taco Bell 2000 Sparks plush isn't too rare. Oh, when I was selling, it was like it was really hard to find. But now, yeah, I mean it's a Taco Bell premium. What can you say? But it seemed like it was really hard to get when I was collecting Spyro and Crash stuff. Pokemon Center has some cute Christmas stuff this time of year, like a snow globe. I love snow globes. There's a few Mario snow globes, but nothing like really great. And one of the snow globes I got tilted, and I want to know how to fix it, but I would break it. But I love Christmas Mario merchandise. Oh my gosh, it's my weakness. They came out with that Snowman Mario plush in Universal Studios Japan. I've been obsessed about it. It's in a storeroom somewhere in Japan waiting to be shipped. Search Spyro quadruped plush and you'll find my images and two from the older people who are known to own it. I'm pretty sure I have one who's standing, so maybe I have it too. Let's go and see. I'm going to find it now on the Googles. That one looks like a custom. Oh. Super Spyro Ultra Rare 1998 quadruped plush by Crazy Kari on DeviantArt. Yeah, I don't know if I have that one or not. That looks really familiar though. I'd have to get back into my Spyro stuff. Who made it? That's a gorgeous plush. Oh my gosh. That really captures the character. Yeah, because all the, like, just looking at the other Google search images, they were all so weird. Standing up. I never understood that. Interesting. I might have it. I don't know. I'd have to go look. Oops. Okay, now I got behind because I went and Googled something. It's morphin' time. Shut up, Pena. Apologies for some reason. Chat hid my comment before I. Okay. Raging Star says hi. Hi. The console ones are cool. Mysterious K. Yeah, those are cool. SMB Collector. Been almost 2 hours. Gotta go. Hey, thanks for watching, dude. Love you. Mysterious K. Very detailed. Yes, very detailed. Those are like the Donkey Kong arcade cabinet. Those are great. Dream on. Any Holy Grail items you've been hunting for a while? The Mechabon was something that I just recently got. So there are other things on my wish list like that. I want to know more about that Hungry Hippo Yoshi game, and now we've seen the card because they found an auction. The group posted an auction that had the card back. I didn't know it was a carded thing. I thought it was a box like most of them are. So that's on my list. Mario Christmas trees. Yeah, I got the Mario and the Zelda Christmas tree. Well, if you actually did have it, you'd be in for a big payout. Well, we'll see. I could have sworn I had one that was on all four legs, but it was. Uh, the weirdest ones were the slinky ones. Those are crazy. The Crash and the Spyro. Nick Kramer, longtime viewer, first time chatter. How you doing, Nick? Good to see you. Now we're getting like some more people, and I'm about to be done. It's been a long 2 hours just chatting straight, not breathing. Raging Star, hey Nightram, do you do requests for merchandise sets? I absolutely do. But I imagine I make people angry because I never get around to it. Though someone just asked for the new Super Mario Brothers sets, and it's like, yeah, it's high time I did those. So I dug it all out and made a big mess, and then did those videos. So I will take requests. I can't guarantee how quickly I will get to them because they're hard to put together. They're a lot of work. I have to dig everything out, and then I have to make sure that I know what I'm talking about, and then I have to find time to do the video, and then I have to put it all back. And like I'm still trying to get everything in its spot right now. So the goal is to have it ready for people to come through for a Christmas party. And I'm almost there, but it takes a lot of time putting it all back together. A lot of us lurkers finally coming out of the lurking. Yeah, this is great. Do you know, Nick Kramer asked, do you know if we are getting a tie-in game for the upcoming Mario animated movie? I'd be really surprised if there was a game. Never say never, but that'd almost be weird to do a Super Mario Brothers movie, the game. Like I loved the Lego movie, the game. That was hilarious. But and a good game actually. But yeah, the weirdest one in that vein was like Street Fighter, the movie, the video game. It's like it's a game. It's a movie based on a game that also has a game. Hilarious. But yeah, I don't know if we get a game. I think it's using so many different parts because you see clear pipes from 3D World, you see Galaxy stuff, you see World stuff, SMB3 stuff. I mean, there's a lot of Easter eggs. You know, Mario Kart. I think they're gonna pull everything. Well, and like we haven't seen Foreman Spike yet, and I know he's in the IMDb list, so there's going to be some Wrecking Crew stuff. I imagine that'll be all the Brooklyn stuff. Like they'll have an opening sequence where the Marios are plumbing, and then they find this wormhole or whatever where they're plumbing, right? Just like in Super Show. And then Luigi's going to go to the Dark World, and Mario's going to go to the Mushroom Kingdom, and they're going to Mario's going to try to save Luigi, and that'll be the spin on it. He's not going to save Princess Peach; he'll save Luigi. So, but that's kind of a bummer because like Luigi's going to be the damsel in distress, right? So we won't get a lot of Koopa bashing or whatever. But maybe he'll break out. Who knows? I don't know. But I think Peach is going to kick some serious butt, which is good. Where are we at? Yeah, not a custom plush. I didn't think the DeviantArt thing threw me off, but yeah. I just uploaded it for archiving to my DeviantArt. It was Universal Studios. 1998. Ooh, it was only available in their stores. Well, I'm pretty sure I don't have that one. That's funny. That's really interesting that they'd have merchandise for those games. I mean, it makes sense, but like, why make it only available there? Mysterious K, do you ever use a service like Buy.e to avoid eBay scalping? I have been looking for some Yoshi Story manga. Do you mean like a proxy service to buy stuff from Japan, or like do you mean like a service for sniping for eBay? Because if it's YJA proxies, it's the only way to go. I've used Bai before. I was not thrilled with their shipping or all the extra fees. Right now, I'm looking at DJapan, DEJAPAN. Before that, I was using From Japan, and I was very happy with their services, but they stopped doing those services. DJapan, I've heard a lot of good things about JAUCE, JAUCE, and there are, I mean, I remember Googling for it for a while, and there's so many different services and so many different fee programs and all kinds of stuff. But DJapan, they don't take any fees on the item because a lot of them will do like a value fee percentage on the item, or just do like a flat 500 yen cost for every auction that you win or everything you buy. And DJapan takes none of that, and then they service their fees later for when you ship all together. And like they have like a 100 yen consolidation fee, and I'm not a fan of consolidation fees, but when there was no fee to win an auction, I was like, oh, maybe we're saving money here. I'll have to do the math when I get it all out, but it'll be my first order real soon. Raging Star. Well, I do have one request. I believe you did a video for a specific portion of the set, that being the Goldie set. I think you did a video about a mystery Waluigi plush from it. Yes. Because there was a whole discussion about, I thought he was a counterfeit plush, and he was not. So you'd like to see a Goldie plush video. I'm pretty sure I have more Goldie plushes beyond just the set I have, but I would have to check that first, because I may have been skipping. Like at some point I had to stop buying Marios, like if the plush wasn't specifically unique or anything, I probably didn't pick it up. So, but like anything that comes out of Sine, I'll buy. Nick Kramer, yeah, it would be. Sweet Sukaban, is there any Play It Loud era Nintendo merch in your collection by chance? In fact, I was at the Play It Loud tour in 1990, and I have a shirt. I have several shirts because I was one of the only kids that went to it, which was crazy. Well, it wasn't 90, it was 94, because I went to the Nintendo World Championships, by the way. I was like 8. I was 9. So I didn't really do all that well. But yeah, so the Play It Loud tour 94, I have some stuff, and I've got some brochures that specifically say Play It Loud on it, but I know I have Play It Loud merchandise from that era, like what there would have been like. But yeah, like I said, at the Play It Loud tour, I was one of the only kids there, and I remember playing like Ken Griffey Jr. baseball or something at the end, and it was just a home run derby. So you had to play 2 other games, and at the end you were just hitting home run derbies, and they just give me a shirt every time. So I went back up, and I got a shirt and a shirt and a shirt. And one kid came up to me and he was like, I'm having a hard time winning at the game. Can I get one of your shirts? And I'm like, sure. I had like 10. So I'm like, here you go. So he got a shirt. And then after that, this is one of the best stories that I have from gaming. So there was a radio station that was also like there to do a big promotional, and they were like totally bored off their minds. And they had all this stuff to give away. And I was too busy winning shirts from Nintendo. So we went over to their booth. Like no one was going over to the radio station. So after the Nintendo stuff was packing up, I went over to their booth, and they had all this stuff. And they're just like, we had to give this away, but no one was here. So here you go. And they gave me like a bunch of video games. And they were all garbage video games. It was like Super Battle Tank 2. And it was like a soccer game I don't even remember. And they were sealed. So I returned them to the local Babbage's store and got like full value for those, because that was how things worked back then. And I think I bought Chrono Trigger and Super Mario RPG for a little, like they used to sell it at like $90, I think, back then, like the big RPGs they sold for more. So they gave me those 2 games with a little bit of extra cash on top. But I bought 2 amazingly great games, and essentially got a portion of them free because I was the only one there at the radio station. It was hilarious. Do you have any 48-inch Acme Luigi in your collection, Nightram? No. I have the larger Mario, but I don't have the Luigi. No space. I think you may be thinking of the quadruped play-by-play. Likely. Chubby Kelly toy. Yeah, that's probably what I'm talking about. Crazy Kari. Raging Star. I think a Mario movie game would be interesting, but I think there would be a lot of issues with the plot and original parts. Yeah. I mean, that's not really what Mario's about when he does a video game. It's about innovation and cool gameplay, and it's not really about cashing in. But asterisk, big asterisk, right? Only thing I don't like about the movie is it's going to be more crowded when Universal Studios in the U.S. builds more of the super. Yeah, true. It's going to be a lot more kids and stuff. But that, more people coming into the collecting is not a bad thing. It means we get more stuff. We get more FaceTime, more say in maybe what's made because we get to vote with our dollars. But yeah, there's lots of proxy services out there. Mysterious K. Nick Kramer, I'm sure there's going to be a lot more Peach merch because of the film. Probably. Chris Griffin, I've been seeing some Victor Kai cleaner Yoshis go for $350, $400 in poor condition. Would you consider that a fair price? It's tough to say whether anything in bad condition is a fair price. That's a lot to pay for something you have to fix up, though, right? But like, if it's the only one you can find, it's you have to do what you have to do. Gosh, I feel so old to have remembered around the time you uploaded those Spyro and Crash plush vids. Deep into collecting Spyro now. I make the merch myself and commission a lot these days. I imagine because those are two things that should have more merchandise, in my opinion. But they don't have new games to go with them a lot of the time, so they're kind of letting them languish. Okay, last few questions, and I gotta go because I think I have to go pick up my kid. I hear my phone going off, so I had to check my text soon. I have to go. Amazing story. Remember the Power Tour and the original championship? Unfortunately, nowhere near any of the stops. Yeah, mine hit Denver, so we had to go. My dad brought me. It was awesome. That's when I got to play Mega Man 3, and might be why Mega Man 3 is the best video game, in my opinion. But I got to play the Gemini Man stage first. It was so cool. Have you collecting any Metroid stuff? Of course, yeah. I've got Metroid stuff. It's not my favorite series by far. I picked up Metroid Dread. I haven't played a lot of it yet, though. But I've got figures, and I've got rare stuff, and I've got some Keshi, and I've got some statues. Because Samus is awesome. Started asking for Spyro Crash items on eBay for birthday and Christmas gifts when I was about 7. That's how I built a lot of my collection. So you probably have everything that I have. But some of that Crash Japanese stuff, man, that's hard to find. Awesome that that one is awesome. I'm getting the Luigi soon. Can't wait to receive him. Yeah. All right, well, it has been an absolute blast doing this, so I will definitely try to do this some more because it's been great connecting with you guys. It's really fun. But unfortunately, I have to go. I have to pick up my son and talk with my wife and deal with my kids. So I will talk to all of you later. Oh, one last thing. I'm a huge Metroid fan, been collecting rare items. There are so many great Metroid rare items. One of the guys in the group collects Metroid stuff and has been forever, the Metroid Museum. And he knows so many great items. Thanks for the sun stream. Thank you, Hangya, for showing up. It's awesome that you came. Japanese Crash merch is so good. The eyes, right? The eyes are so great. Yeah, okay. I gotta go. I could do this all night. All right. Have a good one, guys. How do I stop this?